Hi YouTube, it's Kathy. Today I'm doing a book review on Bonk by Mary Roach. This is the March book read for the Banging Book Club. Now if you've been paying attention, you'll notice that it's currently February, and this is the March read. I borrowed this from the library, so I didn't really have much say as to when it came into my possession, so I read it early and I'm done already. Overachiever! The full title of the book is Bonk, the Curious Coupling of Science and Sex, and that's exactly what this book is. It's various sex studies, and I can tell you, I never thought I'd learn so much about sex in my entire life than what I've learned in this book. When you note at the beginning of the book that it says that she took 2 years to research this book, you can definitely tell. You can barely go 2 pages in this book without a massive footnote. Obviously, more things she wanted to write about, but didn't quite have the space for them. Also, I'd like to just say that traveling for research purposes is probably my dream job, so I should really figure out how to do that. Seriously, if there's anyone out there who wants to pay me to travel and research things, please contact me. One of the main points that really stuck out about this book for me is the endless complexity of human bodies, human sexuality, and just humans in general. Not to mention pigs and mice and monkeys and other animals that are also discussed in this book. Society has this way of feeding us this narrative where things are normal or not normal, and really there is no normal. Sure, perhaps there's a statistical average of things, but there's never really a normal. Like everything in life, it's complex. I was also a huge fan of the writing style of this. Sure, there's lots of scientific information being thrown at you, but often there are more jokes thrown in than you would ever expect out of a book of this nature. For example, the introduction isn't called the introduction, it's foreplay. I love that this book included misconceptions about sex throughout the ages, and just how ridiculous some of them seem to us now. I also now have a huge appreciation for people who have put together studies about sex and all the hoops they've had to jump through in order to complete those studies. I mean, yeah, getting funding for a sex study, really difficult. I never really thought about it before, but now that I reflect on how Sexplanations always has a hard time getting advertisers because of the content that they're dealing with, it makes a lot of sense. Also, in a completely different context, it doesn't make a lot of sense. People have sex, and I don't understand how it's still taboo to talk about it. If you were to know nothing about human culture and just read this book, you would think that talking about sex wouldn't be taboo, considering all the studies that have been done on the subject. Sexual education is important, even if you plan on never having sex in your life. Shout out to the aces. It's just one of those things that affects so much of the population that an understanding of it is just vital. The writing in this book was so witty at points that while I was reading it in a pub, because I feel that if you're going to read a book with sex in the title, you should always read it in public, I laughed out loud in the pub just sitting there by myself with my book and my beer. Highly recommended. If you haven't already joined the Banging Book Club, I suggest you do that. I will leave a link in the doobly-doo to the Goodreads page. And on the way to the comments, if you could hit that subscribe button, it makes me feel really good. It's probably really creepy. Sorry. See ya.